football fans, welcome to the show. This week we have an all-star cast here for the show presented by Whitetail Properties, the Mark Williams Land Team, and in cooperation with many other partners, including Riley Tool and Machine, USA Mortgage, Darrick Myers, the Heritage, Marion Golf and Pool, Deer Lakes Golf Course, KB Pharmacy, Johnson's Furniture and Appliance, one of our featured sponsors tonight. YTG Insurance, Tanner Tabor, another featured sponsor for this evening's show. Frazer Law Firm, Bart Frazer. Full Body Fitness Studio, that's Serena Dickerson. We know all about her. She keeps everything straight, guys. Livingston Hospital, a Deaconess affiliate. Farmers Bank and Trust on the same street corner over there for, over 100 years. Curnel Ag, First United Bank, Hodge's Sports and Apparel. Plant Federal Credit Union, H&H Home and Hardware, and Par 4 Plastics. Our guest tonight, of course, Coach Courtney. He's a regular, but we've got a new guy, man, and you're really an all-star, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
state champion.
State champion. Where's your ring at, Rylan?
It's back in Franklin, sitting in
my room. He's got a ring. I mean,
I wish he'd wear it around a little bit, motivation, see what these guys see.
So
I got one, ain't coming off.
Coach Starnes used to wear his OVC rings, and flaunt them around. Yeah. Rylan was quarterback at Franklin Simpson High School. Won a state championship in 17.
Yes, sir.
Beat Johnson Central. Yeah. You can go online. You can look him up. When he first came here, we looked him up. Man, he's a star. He's all over the YouTube and stuff. And played some baseball down there too, and played baseball in college at
Kentucky Wesleyan.
Wesleyan, yes. Yeah. That's where he met his beautiful woman that's from here, and they have a new child. And Coach Courtney's got another one that's going to be here pretty soon. And y'all just litter the countryside with these future athletes. That's good. That's good. A lot to talk about tonight because we have a big game this week. We open district play against Murray High School, the Tigers. Always a formidable opponent. And they'll be here, and the coach. Just a typical Murray High team. A lot of athletes, good up front. What are you seeing on them?
Yeah, like you said, the same thing as normal. Typical, except maybe the receiver size out there, and receiver and DB, both of them. I don't even know if they're 6'8", 6'7", maybe 6'8", 6'6". Just some really big guys on the outside is what stands out just at your first glance. And then besides that, a regular Murray team, like you said, which a regular Murray team is a really good team, really athletic, really good everywhere. Offensively, defensively, play really hard. I think the coaching staff's doing a really good job. It's a new coach. I think that offense is exciting to play in. I think he's probably got some of those guys back from the other offense, that offense was tough to stop from the year before, honestly. Yeah. But this one's more, I think, appealing to young kids and especially the athletes they got out. So they're going to be a handful both offensively and defensively.
The new coach, Melvin Cunningham, he played in the NFL. He was an All-American at Marshall University, and so he brings in a lot of experience. The guy that had just left was he'd won multiple state championships.
Yeah. Great coach, both
down at Union City. And they attract good coaches, and I'll tell you they've got good kids out there, and it's a very very storied program.
Right.
Our affiliation with Murray goes way back. Our series goes way back. In 1963, and you all may remember this, we played then and beat them. We tied with Murray High in 1963. One of our winningest teams, won the regional championship, beat Murray, tied 10-10. You know how they solved it? There was no playoff. There was no playoff system back then. Most first downs won the game. So we advanced. Courtney County advanced to play Shelbyville in the semi-state back then.
Good for us. But what a way to go down.
They have tiebreakers in flag football. Yeah, we saw it at the Powder Puff last weekend. Yeah. What about the Powder Puff? Did you see that?
Yeah, we're trying to recruit somebody.
The sophomores blew them away, didn't they?
Young talent.
Yeah. All right, so let's get back on Murray High School real quick. RPI-wise, Murray's number 6, Courtney County's number 7. Coach, we're the only, the highest-ranked team with a losing record. We've played a tough schedule, and that bodes well for you. The rest of the RPI top teams, Catholic, Owensboro Catholic, we ran into last week's number 1. Lexington Christians 2, Mayfield's 3, Beechwood's 4, and Home Events Clark, Greene County is number 5.
Really? Okay.
Number 5, yeah. So big game this week in series. We're 4-20-1 against Murray. That one being that tie back in '63. We've split the last 2 meetings with them. What do you see about this team that's different, Coach, than last year? Now we only lost by a touchdown last year down there.
Mm-hmm. Well, just the offense is the biggest thing. Defensively, they're pretty similar as far as what they do, but offensively, just completely different. They're a veer option team that you don't see much around here. Just really smash mouth, hard nose type football, and now they're back to traditional spread type. Now he does do some run pass option stuff. He seems to really like that and read run. So it is a little different than like our spread as far as what they do, but it's the same formations and typical, at least pre-snap from what you'll normally see in a spread. Mm-hmm. So a huge difference, honestly. Playing Murray last year is like the one game you got to circle, and like this game's completely different. You got to do something completely different defensively because it's not like anything you see. You just don't see that offense anymore. So at least it's more familiar, with the type of scheme we'll see this week.
We said last week everybody likes to run the spread, and
it's fun.
We see a lot of it.
We do see a lot of spread.
You guys run the spread at Franklin?
No, sir. We handed the ball off. Wing tee.
Wing tee.
Straight up. Nothing. Let's see. Probably passed the ball on average 7-8 times a game, I'd say. Really didn't pass the ball unless we needed to. It was run the ball. There was many games where we didn't attempt to pass. We ran over 500 yards in a game.
That's where Crittenden County cut its teeth, though, back in the day. Coach Starnes' early years, and even before him, Coach Pardue, Coach Crum, Coach Gates. I mean, they were running football teams. We ran first, and if we threw the ball 10 times in the game, we were behind.
Right.
That's
what we used to do.
Ball control, control the clock. But now that's not fun anymore, is it?
I guess.
Of course, if you're winning, it's fun.
Yeah. I mean, the game has changed. And you see, like, our team, like, we got 30 receivers and 10 linemen. The kids are just not – like, if we wanted to play that style of football, we don't have a chance of playing that style of football. We just really don't. And I don't know if that comes from flag football when everyone – you know what I mean? Starting earlier, throwing the ball early and all that. But you got receivers everywhere now. Mm-hmm. That's the new hot position. There's even running backs. Like, kids – like, Coach, can I play receiver? I really don't want to play running back. Back in the day, you wanted to play running back. You're going to get the ball, and now it's –
you want to be the halfback, not the fullback.
Yeah.
Like you were the fullback.
Yeah, but even then, like in the wing tee, like that fullback's important. You get some touches in it. But, it's just – the game's just completely changed. Kids have changed. It just all trickles down, I think, from what you see in the NFL and just keeps going down. And a lot of kids just want to play receiver, and that's just kind of the type of kids we have. I would love to play Smash Mouth now. If we had, I promise you, I'd line up in the power eye right now if we could do it and run it down people's throat. There's nothing worse feeling for a defense than having that happen to you. So I wish we could do it, but unfortunately, that's just not how we're built.
Well, Owensboro, they had they controlled the ball on us last week. We gave them several opportunities to have it. Yeah. But they moved the ball with their pass and just kind of didn't pop us really big ones.
They're kind of a little different on the way that most high school teams you can say, like, don't give them. Like, you can let them throw 5-yard passes down the field, 3-yard, and they're going to end up making mistakes. Owensboro Catholic's so good. They can pick you apart for 3 to 5 to 7 yards and then break a couple of tackles. And, they're really good at running the spread and taking what you give them. So they're a really tough team.
Atwell, of course, quarterback over there. Brady Atwell's dad was Mr. Football. Rylan, what did you think about him?
He's a good player, man. Yeah. He's definitely got potential to go play.
You think he's a D1 guy?
I'd say so. He's got the arm to do it.
I seen that Eastern offered him right after we had that. So he did get at least
they had
one.
Okay.
I mean, he put plenty of balls, 40, 45 yards on a straight line right to people, and it was good balls. On the run, too. I think he's got it. He's a good player.
Yeah. Yeah. Good pedigree as well. And speaking of good pedigree, Murray High's again great tradition. Only loss this year was to Union County, a team that beat us, and they beat them 27. Union County beat Murray 27-7. Of course, Union County's undefeated.
Yeah, they're a tough team.
When did they play Tillman? Is that this week? Or?
They don't play them because they've swapped. Tillman moved to 4A and they're 3.
That's right.
So they don't even play.
That's right. So. This Murray schedule, they've beaten Trigg, Callaway, Marshall. Can't get too good a read out of that. Fulton County was a forfeit, and then McCracken County, they beat McCracken 38-35. Mm-hmm. What do you read out of that? I'm sure you've seen some film on that, or I guess you have.
Yeah, I watched the two common opponents with Union and McCracken. I think you can draw quite a bit off of it, especially just like individually, like was this guy blowing us up versus McCracken? Are they handling him? You know, just to kind of get reads individually on what people look like. So, yeah, you can definitely use it. The score, you know, I don't necessarily play into the score that much because just the way teams match up and things like that. But especially individually on what guys, you know, are really good, fast, strong, based on how we handled McCracken.
Did Murray win that game at the end? I did not see.
Yeah, last second touchdown. I don't know how many seconds left. 7, I think. Threw a touchdown, 7 seconds left. So.
Coach, you watch a lot of film on Huddle, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your responsibilities with the team? Explain that.
Well, I coach inverts and receivers, so I'm the guy that has to deal with the 30 receivers that we got.
Let's see. You're always giving the hand signals.
Yeah. During games and stuff like that, on offense, I usually stay really close to Coach Barry and I help him signal stuff in. I try to keep, especially on offense, I try to keep my guys fresh, stuff like that. Just kind of pay attention. Maybe I'll pay attention to somebody on the opposing team coming in, switching out. Maybe we'll get an advantage when somebody comes out, stuff like that. That's usually what I do.
So do you worry about the other team stealing your signals? Do you have an indicator like we do in baseball? You know, you got to have an indicator first. Or
No, nothing
it's
really
far
like
enough
that.
away. They're not.
No.
You're not worried about it.
More so, we just think that we got a lot of different things going on that they really shouldn't be able to pick up on what we're doing.
Of course, now with everybody's got the huddle. You know, they got their huddle screen over there. They set theirs up on the sideline. Their big screen over there. I mean, everybody's got that now, and you know, you can zoom in and hey, if you got somebody there that can get this algorithm real quick.
I was actually calling plays in JV the other day, and I noticed I needed to cover my mouth up. I could watch their guy that was over there calling their defense, watching me call plays. I don't know if he could read my lips or not, but I was like, oh snap, I need to do that. So, very possible could happen.
So we're going to take just a brief break and roll our list of our partners here. Pay attention to those. Again, like we always say, go by and tell these people we appreciate what they do for Rocket Football. It means a lot. We're glad to bring you the show every week and all the other stuff we do pregame, postgame for the Rockets. All right, we're back, and we're going to get into the nuts and the bolts of this conversation now. We're going to talk a little X's and O's. We're going to first concentrate on Murray High's offense. They've got Colin Wilson, boys quarterback. He's got 6 TD passes, 5 interceptions. He's thrown for 980 yards in their 6 games or 5 games. What are they? They've got 5. Let's see. What are they? They got
6, I believe.
6, yeah. And a whole load of receivers, like you mentioned earlier, and they're seniors. You know, all these guys are seniors. All their big players, Xavier, Carmen, and Canoa Olive. Canoa Olive is a big-time player. You know, he's got 16 receptions, and Carmen's got 24 receptions, and then some running backs. Olive has 76 rushes, 455 yards. Colin Wilson, 51 chances for 190 yards. So they mix it up. They've got 12 of their touchdowns is on the ground. So they mix it up. Coach Thomas, talk a little bit. You got these inverts guys, so you've really studied what they're doing. These inverts, they got to really be on their toes, switching around. So
definitely this week. They're going to do a lot of reading and stuff like that in their run game. So inverts, they got to keep their heads on the swivel, stuff, focus on their keys, and main thing that I feel like they're going to attack us with is trying to get us on the outside with those big guys. You know, they're going to take shots, things like that.
We've got the longer guys this time that can maybe.
That's what we were talking about. Honestly, we have some length with them, which is, you know.
Yeah, we got Gabe out there on the outside. We can possibly see what Caden can do. You know, we got some guys that can match up with them as well. But they're going to definitely take shots with those guys. They're both Division I football players, I'd say. So I think that's what they'll be going at mainly. And then, like I said, they'll be doing a lot of like reading and stuff like that, option stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, was it one of them's already been offered by Murray? Was that Olive?
No, that Olive is the running back.
Yeah, the running back. 13.
Jones is number 7. Is
Jones, Jeremiah Jones. That's right, Jeremiah Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got fewer reception than the other two guys got. He's got 14 catches for 216 yards.
Yeah, he's a huge weapon, and they play him some at quarterback. He can do everything. He's probably, I'd say, college. He's probably going to be a safety though. I would assume. Really good defensive player as well.
Mm-hmm. Crittenden County has not scored a defensive or special teams touchdown against Murray.
That's what we need.
Ever.
Oh, wow.
So I know you're big on that,
Mm-hmm.
and that's something maybe we can hang our hat on after this one, and that may just be what we need to get them. Did a good job of taking the ball away last week from a really good OCATH team. If we get a couple of picks or a fumble or two, what do you like that ratio? I know you've got a formula, and you guys have it on your board out there.
Yeah, +2. We always want to be
plus two on turnover
margin. Yeah, that's how my Monday speech starts every morning. Here's the turnover margin. Here's what happened in the game, and it's always the truth. If we lose that, if we're +2, we always win. If it's somewhere in the middle, if it's even, then it just is a coin flip. And then if you're negative, you have no chance. And it's been true every time this year. It's been true every time I've been since I've been in Crittenden County, except one time, and we were actually on the winning side of it. But pretty good stat. If we can be +2, we feel really good about where we are.
What did we end up last week?
We're
with
how you look at
love.
it. I put us -3 for my
-3,
count because I got to count every time. I know technically those kickoffs aren't a turnover, but they are.
They are. Yeah.
I mean, they're a takeaway. We're supposed to have the ball and they get it, so it put us at -3 with the way counting those.
I don't know why. Well, they don't call it a turnover because it hadn't changed possession.
Yeah,
but
you would think
if
as soon as you kick it though,
you would
it's
think
your
it changes.
possession. Yeah.
But it doesn't.
Right. Yeah.
And
It's
they
just
can
kind of a
cover it.
raw
Still their
stat.
ball.
It doesn't even count, you know what I mean? It doesn't count as anything, right?
Right.
No. That doesn't show up in the stats.
It's like an onside kick.
Yeah.
It's just like an onside kick.
Right.
It's the same thing.
To me, that should be a fumble recovery still. Even onside kick.
Yeah, I'm with you. Now, on an onside kick, I think if it touches the other team, of course they get it, and then they drop it. Somebody hits them, then it becomes. I think.
Well, we touched them the other night.
You touched, but you didn't have the ball.
But I'm saying on onside kick.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? It'd be the same difference, wouldn't it?
You touched the ball.
Yeah.
No, you didn't have possession of it.
No.
Yeah.
But on onside kick, you wouldn't have possession of it either if you just.
No, that's what I'm saying. You got to have
have possession.
You got to have that possession. Somebody drills you, you drop it, then you can count that fumble. Yeah,
that's
what's going to be. So, what else, Rylan? What are you seeing out of Murray High School? I know you don't want to give away a lot, but what do they do good? What do they do good that we've really got to be good at? You talked about the corner, getting us outside. Anything else?
Well, yeah. I mean, basically they rely on their athletes a lot, definitely. So they just they make a lot of plays, things like that, and they do a lot of things good. They're just a good team overall.
Speed-wise, can we play with them?
Mm-hmm. I'd say so.
Yeah, we had pretty good speed.
Yeah. They lost one of their biggest weapons. He transferred out for them.
Yeah, went over to another team we're going to see here in a couple of weeks over to Mayfield. too bad they didn't leave the conference. Leave the state. They got to go over to another.
Right.
Coach Courtney, what are you seeing on this Murray offense?
Their offense?
Yeah.
Just like Coach Thomas said, we got to stop the run starting off. They have big weapons outside. We got to stop the big weapons from getting big plays on us, just keeping everything in front of us. It's an option team like he talked about. You might as well think of it as the option, even though it's spread. So anytime that happens, a lot of guys got to do their job and make sure we're playing assignment football. They do a really good job of hiding things, even though it's an option, running it different ways, but it's still a lot of the same stuff. So we just got to make sure we're sharp and in the right places and not give up the big play. And anytime there's an option, there's always opportunity for turnovers as well, with exchanges and things like that. So we need to have a few of those things go our way. And offensively, I just think we have to execute on our side of the ball. Hopefully we can keep the ball and get some offensive plays because I feel pretty good about our offense when we are. We got to find a way to establish the run. I've been saying it all year. We got to be able to run the football some. And I think that Coach Berry's been doing a great job doing it. I think last week that we had some opportunities to run the ball. It's just when you get down like that, it's hard to come back running the ball, so you're forced to throw it, and then you're not getting many plays as it is. So we got to take care of the football, be able to establish the run, and be able to execute the plays when we have them.
Yeah. So their kicking team, their special teams is pretty good too. Their kicker is 19 for 19 on point afters, and he's 1 for 1 on field goals. Murray has always had a good kicker.
Yeah.
They bring those soccer guys over. We don't have a boys soccer team, but I'm gonna tell you, Lizzie Campbell that kicks for the play soccer for the girls. We might have to start going out there.
I need a recruiter. What year is it?
Senior.
Oh, man.
You need, now, Ella Gary's got a good strong leg, too. I went out last night and watched them play.
I thought we had a soccer player, a guy that plays soccer. I don't know exactly whatever, but I thought we had one going into the year, but we ended up not closing the deal on him. So, yeah, we're recruiting kickers anytime if anything can kick.
Absolutely. We're going to take just a break, then we're going to come back and talk about the defense. But our break, we're not going anywhere. But we're going to talk about our featured sponsors this week. And one of them, we're going to start with YTG Insurance. Tanner Tabor, you guys know Tanner. He coaches Little League football, Little League baseball. He's been a commissioner of Little League football. He runs Little League baseball. He's president of the Dugout Club. Just a really good community guy. And YTG Insurance. Tanner was a good football player.
Yeah, that's what they say. Safety, right?
Yeah, and he was a receiver too.
Safety receiver.
Yeah, he's a two-time All WKC, and he's on the all-time receivers list somewhere.
Okay.
Somewhere, it's not the top 5, but he's on that list. It doesn't go on forever.
Yeah,
but
I've heard he was a really
he was a good player. You can see all that stuff about all these old guys that played on the Rocket website. Andy Hunt does an incredible job of putting together our record book and keeping all of our stats and stuff. What a tremendous asset that is.
Yes, it is.
But again, YTG Insurance, Tanner Tabor on West Gum Street here in Marion. Independent agent, which allows them to offer different choices of insurance carriers to make find one that fits you and your needs financially and your whatever your insurance needs are. And Tanner, he always says every policy comes with an agent, and that's hometown. That's what you get. All lines of coverage: home, auto, life, health. Talk to Tanner Tabor; he'll find the right policy for you. YTGinsurance.com. You can find them online. Other partner is Johnson's Furniture and Appliance, and they gave us our big mug here.
Yeah.
I don't know if you get one of those when you buy something special down there, but I like that. Patty, thank you, Patty Johnson. 3 generations of Johnsons have operated this hometown business on Main Street, right next to 5 Star. And look, Johnson's Furniture is a 5-star home and appliance center. Furniture, whatever you need. Right now, they got a big fall special. You buy an appliance between now and the end of the year. No interest until 2025. As high as interest rates are right now, that's a deal now. And if you're looking for something else in the store, they got another interest-free deal. It's a little different on bedding and furniture, but you got to get over there in a hurry because that ends October 18th. Anyway, reliable hometown service after the sale, and they'll bring the stuff to you. Johnson Fern, FURN, johnsonfern.com. Catch them on the web. Appreciate all of our sponsors. Let's talk about the defense, guys. Murray High. They always bring a blue-collar type defense to the ball field every year, and it's going to be no different this year. What are you seeing out of them there?
Yeah, I think they play really hard. Got a lot of speed out there. Corners are really aggressive on the outside. We played them in 7-on this offseason, and we're really impressed with their coverage, especially their corners, how aggressive they were and able to hang with those guys. So I think there'll be some really good matchups out wide, some 50-50 matchups with our guys and theirs. So exciting to see what our offense can do versus them.
Mm-hmm. Some of the top players, number 5, Simon Rickman's got 44 tackles. Ben Davis, 57. Number 57 has 42 tackles. Those guys together have 6 sacks. And then Fallon Richardson, he's another senior, has 39 tackles. Then Jeremiah Jones we were talking about. And he's just a junior. Mm-hmm. Number 7. He's a guy you will need to keep your eyes on.
Yeah.
4 sacks himself, an interception, fumble recoveries. He's the guy that's been offered by Murray State, is what I understand. So, they're going to be a team. Are they going to come after us? You have a feeling you try to get after Micah?
I think in times they will. I don't know exactly how much pressure we'll see. I think it'll be timely when they do it. I think they have a defense that they kind of hang their hat on, and it is kind of what it is and what they do. And at certain times they'll bring pressure, but most of the time I think they'll line up and play, honestly, and just play us straight up and expect their guys to be aggressive and play really fast. Mm-hmm. I think it's probably simple alignments, it seems like, and just let those athletes get after it. And I think they do a good job doing that. That's what I see happening.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about our ROL. We say that we've had some of the guys on here, but they don't show up all the time in the numbers and such. But those guys up front, talk a little bit about them, how well they're doing.
Yeah, they've been doing pretty well. We're just small up front. We do a really good job doing what we do in pass protection and screen game and outside runs and things. They've been doing a really good job with that. I think snaps has been really good this year. Branstad has played extremely well. Probably been the most consistent lineman up front this year for us.
And he's just a sophomore, right?
Just a sophomore.
Yeah,
and
good job.
Keegan Pearson, who is a sophomore as well, was lineman of the week, so it's really good to see him turn it on. And Grayson's been solid for a long time out there, and we still feel good about him and Blazina as well. Both of them guys, seniors, that have a good grasp of what's going on. And Lane I think he's been lineman of the week the most. Has probably played the best as far as that goes. He's a senior as well, but last year was his first year coming back to high school. So, he's really caught on this year and been a really good piece for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those guys do a great
and
job.
Caden Travis, and he's our sixth if we need one, and he's good too and filled in. He's just taking on more of a defensive role this year, but he can certainly get the job done as well.
And kind of moving back from them, Bennett McDaniel, our middle linebacker, went out with an injury early in the OCATH game last week, and not sure you can speak to that if he'll be back. But Poindexter steps in, a sophomore, and he's a player, isn't he?
He's
I
a good player.
see Rylan shaking his head.
I like Poindexter, man. He's a good player. Helps me in JV too.
And his little brother he's lights out at quarterback at middle school. Middle school's won 4 in a row.
Yeah,
now.
middle school's on fire.
Yeah,
middle school's on fire. So
yeah. So talk a little bit about him and your linebacker. Hey, what kind of adjustment you have to make when Bennett goes out like that, because he's dealing with a lot of injuries and different things.
Like we talked about Monday, Bennett is extremely important to us. But with that being said, Poindexter, you really don't have to blink an eye with him. What I'm getting when I come in.
Mm-hmm.
Before the year, he's just extremely smart. The only thing he was lacking, and he's willing, right? It's just, I always tell him it's just your heart and your mind to play linebacker. That's it. And he's extremely smart, and he's willing to do it. He's tough. He'll stick his nose in there. So he's got the two things he needs. He just needed a little size from last year. And once he put that on, I knew he was set for a good year. He's a guy that can play Sam, Mike, or Willie for us. So if anything goes wrong, I just plug him in, and I feel good about it. It's really good having a guy like that, because in the box, a lot of things happen in that position. You're going to lose somebody throughout the year. So you got a guy like that, you can just plug in and play, not blink an eye. I don't got to worry about anything. He knows the defense as well as anybody on the team, without a doubt. He knows, honestly, probably better than anybody on the team.
Who's your new Briley Berry?
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
I know earlier in the year you're really. I need Briley Berry.
Yeah.
A guy like that's irreplaceable.
Yeah. Those guys that just really got the mental side, and Bennett has it too as well. But Poindexter is, like I said, he's probably one of the smartest kids that I've coached as far as that linebacker.
Hey, that's comes in pretty high regard for a pretty good linebacker himself, right there. Yeah. Rylan, we're going to kind of close this thing out in just a minute. You have anything in particular extra you'd like to talk about? Some of your guys, some things you're seeing that maybe you're a little surprised about this year?
Not much, really. I mean, I think our practices are going well right now. We're practicing really hard. We're getting better every day, things like that. I mean, just guys keep showing up, just keep working hard. We'll just keep getting better every day, and towards the playoff, maybe we can make a run, stuff like that. I'm happy to see what we can do, though. I think we've got a good squad.
Yeah. We were talking the other day about, this district, the first district, 2A, has us, Mayfield, Murray. 3 of the top 10 teams in the state of Kentucky right here, and 2 of them are in top 5. And then you go skip over to the second district, and you got OCATH. And then there's not just, not to disparage anybody, but none of those teams over there have many wins besides OCATH. So come playoff time, maybe we get something going. We could see OCATH again.
Oh,
we have to see them if we want to get where we want to go.
Yes.
Probably, yeah. You got to go through them or Mayfield on one side, probably.
Yes, you got, Coach Courtney, this week is Young Rockets Night, one of our favorites.
Yeah, it's exciting. Yeah.
Young Rockets Night. So if you're a little league junior pro football player, I assume flag football,
Starts flag.
Middle school football,
Yep.
or cheerleader.
Yep.
In all of those divisions, wear your jersey and you walk in the gate free gratis, right? Free gratis. Now, mom and dad don't get in free.
Yeah, that's the kicker. That's the catch.
That's the catch.
Yeah.
And there's new school policy now. You can't just let those kids come too. They put that in place here back a week or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be attended by an adult if you're in school like that. You read that in the Courtney Press this week. We got information on that. But Young Rockets night's a big night, and they'll recognize all them at halftime. How's the Little League program going this year? How are they doing?
They are win wise. I'm not sure exactly where they are, but I love the groups that we have. Middle school down. Honestly, I feel really good about what's coming up in the program from watching them and seeing them practice. And like you said, middle school's on a run. I think 5th and 6th has got some great players, some really really good potential, and 3rd and 4th as well. And even watching those little flag guys, you can just kind of imagine, like, man, I can't wait to get to coach those kids someday. So it's just fun seeing them grow up and thinking about when they're going to be in high school, and this kid's going to be with that kid. And I bet we put all these kids together, and as coaches, we're looking at them the whole time, and we see a lot of good things down there. I think the program's in a really good spot. I really do.
Yeah. Well, we stick around here with Mayfield and Ocath and Murray. We better be in a good spot.
Yeah, yeah, and we're sitting here at 2 and 3 with that district and that schedule, and I feel like we're a good football team.
Yeah,
we're competitive. We will end up being competitive, and it's due to taking that mentality, playing that schedule. We played Paducah Tillman this week in JV. We played Mayfield last week in JV. We lost both of them by 2 touchdowns. We're right in these games, and I think the kids are starting to believe that we can play with anybody, and that's the first step. As long as we can start getting that mentality and just getting used to playing that competition. That's what it is. Why can't our kids be that good? We just got to get used to it and get that mindset. So I've been pleased. Obviously, I would want to win every game, and I felt like that we could have won some games that we've lost. But I really feel like we're going in the right direction. At 2 and 3, I know it doesn't necessarily think that, but I feel like we're a really solid 2 and 3 team.
Okay. Confidence and tradition plays.
Yes.
I mean, it really does. I mean, you look – Webster County, a team that we just typically handle. We beat them right out of the chute, and I don't think they hadn't lost since. Had they? Still on a roll. They were a pretty good football team, and are a pretty good football team. That was a quality win. So Friday night we have Murray High open district play, big game. We win this one and be one step closer to hosting first round of the playoffs. So everybody wants to do that. That's the first box you want to check, isn't it? When you start talking about the playoffs. Let's get that home field advantage round 1. So this week Murray High rolls in here to be a very formidable opponent. And Young Rockets night, things will be cranking at Rocket Stadium. It was this last week.
Yeah, it usually is.
And Ocath, I think we stunned them a little. They popped us in the mouth, and we came right back, and it was a ball game. I think a lot. I mean, I know some of the people over on the Twitter side were like, "Oh, hey, this is a little different than what we expected," But they didn't get away from us.
Yeah.
Things happen, but we need to get on Murray High early, don't we? We don't need to get behind. We need to get up front. And
we can't start a game like we started last week. This is when it matters. This is the time. This is one that's been circled for a long. All those tough schedule, this and that for this game. So this is when it starts to matter. I'm not saying win or lose that this makes your season, but it definitely helps. This one's important.
Yeah.
Really important.
Yeah, big game Friday night, 7 o'clock kickoff. Young Rockets night. Bring the kids out. Enjoy Rocket football as we open 2A First District First Region play at Rocket Stadium.